So I've got a bit of an interesting perspective when it comes to the Skate series. Not really that big of an actual skateboarder, but I love skateboarding video games. It's kind of weird, but yeah, love these things. I adore over them, and I know all the little itty bitty details and stuff like that I should be looking for. So I'm coming at this with more of a gamer perspective than I am a skateboarding perspective. But I think everyone's given skate a little bit of a hard time, art style wise. Look, it's early pre-alpha. I don't know if you guys know how game development works. Alpha, beta, game is released. Skate is doing it a bit weird where we've had like a lot of pre-alphas and stuff like that, which normally you would never see, by the way. You'd only start seeing the game once it's near the release. That's when marketing material and stuff all like that starts to come out. A company's not going to show their game off until it's at its peak performance, peak visual like identity and stuff like that. Skate is one of the first AAA studios I've seen do this, at least, that has just said we're going to be completely open about this game from the get-go. So what, we go over here, what is it, 3 years ago, on the still working for it trailer. This is stuff like this we would literally never see for games, or this early pre-alpha stuff, or like non-textured anything. This very rudimentary just working out the game. Stuff like this we never see with any other game. So the fact we did get to see it for Skate is cool, but I think it kind of backfired because a lot of the people who are going to care about this game don't realize that it's so early in development, and they're just going, oh, the game looks shit. Oh, this game looks worse than Skate 3. PS2R graphics. And just like the stupidest comments I've ever fucking seen in my life. This is the idea of what the game is supposed to look like. We can go here, and we're going to slow it down a bit. But the idea of what like the game's art style is going to be is not this cartoony stuff. Skate has never been the super realistic, ultra 4K realism textures. You can see the sweat beads and stuff like that. That's not this game. If you want that, low-key, go play Session, okay? That's where they're doing all this super ultra realistic shit. You can watch how much, if you only tail slide in that game, that's the only part of your board that's going to be ripped up, okay? If you want super specific, nitty gritty, ultra realistic, that game exists. Skate is not that. So we're going to get to like here. This is the art style, intended art style of what I imagine the game's going to be. That looks good. That looks phenomenal. You've got a lot of details on the environment and stuff like that. You've got literal branding on the fucking satellites. When we get a bit closer, you'll see like the divots in the pants. Oh, the lighting's a bit bad there, but there we go. Lighting as well. The whole lighting engine is great. Like, I generally just do not understand this complaint about the art style. I get it now when we're in pre-alpha, but that's not a complaint you should be making when a game is nowhere even near being released. And I don't want to hear the claim of, it's being released this year. It's being released in 2025 to early access. If you know what early access means, that means the game is not ready yet. It means they're still working on it. Do they need to release another still working on it trailer for you guys to understand this? Like, it's unprecedented to really see a game studio be this open and vocal about stuff, but it's refreshing to see. At least we know if there's going to be any problems about this game, we could call them up on it. Like, but everyone's calling them up on art style and stuff that's just not into the game yet, that will be addressed later, because game development takes a long time. They low-key made the wrong choice of showing this game off too early. Like saying, like, when they figured out they were making a new Skate game, they essentially announced it at the same time, being like, we're doing it, you guys can shut the fuck up, we're doing it, alright? Just shut up, we're making the game. I love seeing like all the backlog of how game development actually works, how they worked out certain things. So getting to see all these builds over the years and stuff like that, seeing Skate literally evolve, it's been really cool, and we're going to see it evolve even more with it being a live service game. Which is another complaint I see from a lot of people. Microtransactions, really? Loot boxes? So they've heard the word loot box and not actually looked into what it means in this game. Loot boxes are with in-game currency that you can earn, not buy. Straight up, you cannot even buy the loot boxes with money if you wanted to. It's just the in-game currency you earn. And in those loot boxes that you get for free in-game, you can still get branded cool looking clothes and stuff like that. So this idea that you're not going to look cool or anything, that's out the window. They've already covered that. Again, it's a free to play game though. You don't need to look cool. I understand that is a big part of Skate, customizing your character, expressing yourself through that. Totally understand that. But again, free to play game. They're giving you the whole game for free. You don't have to pay anything to get into here and play this game. Even if you don't like it, don't have to pay anything. So if you do like it, you can pay money and buy a cool costume. Granted, they don't have any cool costumes at the moment. Go see my other video for that. But moving on. The player size. I think people need to realize this as well. I'm just gonna keep repeating this footage. I don't think people keep realizing it's like, oh, they should have just made Skate 4. It would have made so much more money. No, it wouldn't have. Holy shit, no, it wouldn't have. Skate 3 was low-key lightning in a bottle with how it sold. And that was low-key because of like PewDiePie and shit like that, with how glitchy the game was. It sold it to a bigger casual audience. A lot of casual people don't give a fuck about skateboarding, and you can kind of see that from, it's not the greatest examples, but you go look at Skater XL and Session's like Steam counts and stuff like that, their player count. I think Session averages like, it peaked at like 2,000 players on Steam. Steam's not the best thing to quote stuff off, and Skater XL was like 5,000 below, roughly in my head. Again, not the best stuff to base off of, because console was probably way bigger. I think I remember seeing Session say something like 3 million copies sold. I don't believe that, but yeah, moving on. My point is, the market for a skate game is not as big as people think. You could see 3 million and go, whoa, that's a lot. That's a big number. It is. Not in the game development world, especially with how much games cost to make and shit like that. My goodness, that shit would flop if it was just a straight, just actual game, where they just poured a lot of resources into it. That's why we didn't get Skate 4 for 15 years, by the way, guys. It's not like they just didn't want to make it. That shit just would not have been profitable. They saw this and were like, oh, how can we make a profitable new iteration of Skate? Oh, free to play is like the big new gaming model. Let's try that out. There's no barrier to entry. People like the game. Because if people do get into Skate, they tend to really like it and play it for a long time. Then we can just constantly update the game and sell them stuff like that. Constantly doing that, making more money than we could ever selling one single copy of the game and probably 6 DLC packs. And I get it, as a consumer, it's not the best thing to like kind of hear, but I'd rather have a new game that's going to be like this than no game, you know? Like, something's better than nothing. Some people may disagree, but hey man, this game is fun. From the footage I've seen, allegedly, I haven't played it. EA, look, I'm getting kind of annoyed of jumping over these like everyone's in the playtest. Just, I want to say open up content to everyone, because the amount of footage I've seen on TikTok and stuff like that, where I just don't think people realize you're not meant to be discussing your playtest of the game. So yeah, anyway, look, thank you to Sokenstein once again for the footage here. I just wanted to kind of ramble about the game a bit more. Yeah, looking forward to Skate. EA, please invite me to the player council so I can do stuff officially and sell the game for you. Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.